And good morning, 5th grade students. Hope you're having a great day. We're off on our way to Riley's farm as you get ready for your Eureka math lesson. And what does Eureka mean in Latin? Of course, it means I have found it. And what have we found? We have found the best way to learn math, which is by far greater than any fortune we could discover in a gold mine. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do a little fluency practice of multiplying fractions. So let's just do one we're very familiar with. 1/2 times 1/2. Remember, the times, the multiplication means of, so 1/2 of 1/2. Remember what we just multiply them straight across. 1 times 1 is 1, and 2 times 2 is 4. Let's continue on. Go ahead and write this down on your scratch paper. 2/3 times 1/5, or 2/3 of 1/5. You can do the math. Just multiply them straight across. What are you going to wind up with? Well, you probably wound up with 2/15, because that's 2/3 of 1/15. We'll continue on. Of 1/5, excuse me. All right, we'll keep going with, let's do 2/3 times 1/3. What will that equal? Well, if we play our cards right and multiply them straight across, we know that 2 times 1 is 2, and 3 times 3 is 9. We'll continue on. Let's do 1/3 of 1. 3 over 3. 3/3. What would 1/3 of 3 over 3/3? Tough one here. 1 times 3 is 3, and 3 times 3 is 9. What could we simplify that to? Well, 3 divided by 3 is 1, and 9 divided by 3 is 3. So 1/3 of 1 is indeed 1/3. Let's do 1/4 of, or multiplied with 3/5. Multiply them straight across. 1 times 3 is 3, and 4 times 5 is 20. There we have that. We're going to keep on going. 3/4 times 2/5. 3 times 2 is 6, and 4 times 5 is 20. What can we simplify to this? Well, I know 6 divided by 2 is 3, and 20 divided by 2 is 10. So we would come up with 3/10. We'll continue on to 2/3 times 2/5. Go ahead and complete that one on your own. Give you a little bit of a time for this. Excuse me. If you knew 2 times 2 is 4 and 3 times 5 is 15, there we have that. Let's keep on moving. We're going to get a new piece of paper if you need to. 1/5 times 3/4. What's our product going to be? Remember, our product is a multiplication answer. Well, 1 times 3 is 3. And 5 times 4 is 20. I can't simplify that. And we'll move on to, let's do 3/4. And this time we're going to multiply with an improper fraction. So this is greater than 1. So 3/4 of 4/3. All right. So this is greater than 1. Remember the improper fraction? Well, I never. 4, the numerator is greater than the denominator. So what's 3/4 of 4/3? Go ahead and figure that one out. 3 times 4 is 12, and 4 times 3 is 12. So that would equal 1. And you're thinking, how can that be, Mr. Leggett? Well, we can take a look at, let's do a tape diagram. Go ahead and follow along with me. And we're going to do 4/3. So there's 1/3, 2/3, 3/3, and 4/3. Where would 1 be at? 1, 2, 3. Okay, there's 3/3, right? But we have 4/3 there. So 3/4 of 1/3, think about it, there's 4 parts. So 3/4 of 4/3 would indeed be 1. Isn't that fascinating? I think it is. Whoops, I got a little too, there we go. Hope you were in range that whole time. If not, I'm sure you did okay, I hope. Mr. Leggett hopes. And we're going to do a few more before we continue on. If you need more room, just flip that page. We'll do 2/3 times 3/4. 2 times 3 is 6. 3 times 4 is 12. And what can we simplify that to? Think about it. You can divide 6 by 6, you get 1. And 12 by 6, you get 2, so it would be 1/2. 2/3 of 3/4 is indeed 1/2. A few more to go. 2/3, go ahead and write these down. Times 3/4. Figure that one out on your own. 5/8 times 2/3. And last but not least, 2/5 times, 3/8. So do those problems on your own. You can see them nice and clear. Going to give you a little time. Two times 3 is 6. 3 times 4 is 12. 5 times 2 is 10. 8 times 3 is 24. 2 times 3 is 6. 5 times 8 is 40. Let's simplify these. I know that 6 divided by 6 is 1, and 12 divided by 6 is 2. I can take these and divide them both by 2, can't I? 10 divided by 2 is 5. 24 divided by 2 is 12. Okay, let's try this one. 6 divided by 2 is 3, and 40 divided by 2 is 20. All right, let's continue on with our lesson, our review here. I'm going to get another piece of scratch paper. We're going to do a little bit of find the volume really quick to start our day. Not start our day, continue our day. So go ahead and draw along with me. I know some of us don't like to do this, but we'll get the hang of it. Mr. Leggett is definitely not too good at it. And this one's going to be really long, like this. Oh man alive. Yeah, see, I told you I'm not too good at this. That looks terrible. Let's start over. So make our rectangle here. We're going to stop right there and go like that. Okay. Told you I'm terrible at this. And then we're going to go like that. Does that look good? No, it doesn't. Let's try it one more time, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to go like this. I told you, geometry is not my thing. And then we're going to shoot off like that. And shoot off like that. Thank you, Mr. Leggett. I think you kind of got it. Alright, we're going to stop all this goofiness and just get moving. So our shape has dimensions of 3 centimeters, 4 centimeters, and 2 centimeters. We all remember, I hope, how to figure out the volume. Multiply them. There we go. 3 times 4 times 2. 3 times 4 is 12. 12 times 2, I hope we all know that by now, is 24. But remember, we're multiplying in centimeters, so we would have 24 centimeters cubed, okay? Let's get out another piece while Mr. Leggett's just going through the scratch paper. I'll make sure you have plenty. And let's do another one. Get ready to draw. Here we go. So here's our shape, right? We're going to go doink, doink, connect, and connect. So we have 4 centimeters, 4 centimeters, and 10 centimeters. How are we going to figure this out? Okay, think about it. Remember how we deal with volume. We multiply length, width, and height. So let's do that. I'm going to think the easiest way to do this would be 4 times 4 times 10. You might think something else might be easier. 4 times 4 is 16, and then we just have 16 times 10. Remember, all we have to do is 16 times 1 is 16 and add on the 0. But we're not done yet. What's our unit of measurement? Centimeters and cubed. There we go. Speaking of cubes, it's time to get out your cubes. So go ahead and pause the video and get out your cubes. And let's have a little cube fun. First thing we're going to do is you're going to build, let's do something a little different. We're going to go 3, 6, 9, and 12. Okay, so taking a look at this. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the bottom layer, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the top layer. So we know our volume is 12 cubic inches. But watch what we're going to do now. We're going to go like this. We're going to build a little addition on here. 2 that way, and 2 this way. So now we have 1 layer of 4. Oop, time to get some more cubes. And we're going to do another layer of 4 and another layer of 4. So remember, our first shape was 12 centimeters, cubic centimeters, and now we have this other one. What was the total here? We had 2 layers of 4, so that would be 8 centimeters cubed. So when we think about these together as if they were one container, what would our total volume be? All we would have to do is add them up. So 2 plus 8, 10, 1 plus 1 is 2, and we have 20 centimeters cubed. So that's what our lesson's going to be about today. And it's going to get a little more complicated than that. But let's give it our best shot. And this means we're going to be doing a little more, well, you know, maybe I don't need to draw any more cubes. Let's see if I can avoid that, and maybe we could just use the book and some scratch paper, okay? I like the sound of that. So, let's make it happen. Give Ellie Jo her cubes back. So let's take a look at our first problem today. And, not our first, excuse me. Our first problem of this type, I should say. So let's zoom on in. Excuse me. Someone's like, no, don't do that, Mr. Leggett. So let's take a look at our problem here. It's kind of like those cubes we had, all right? We have 6, 5, and 4. So we could determine the volume of this. 6 inches, 5 inches, 4 inches. But the one on top is 3 inches, 2 inches, continues up there, but we're missing one little bit here, aren't we? So we have the 3 inches here, the 2 inches up there, so this would be a total of 6 inches going up this way, right? But we do this shape here first, 6 times 5 times 4, but then we have 3 times 2, but what's the distance of this one right here, this line right there? Well, if we look down here, it would be 5, so it would be 3 times 5 times 2 on this shape up here. Do we see how that works? I hope we do. I hope I made that clear, but hopefully it'll be a little more clear when we take a look at it like this. So get out your piece of scratch paper. And So we figure out the volume of this shape down here first. 6 times 5 times 4. We don't need to know that 3. That 3 is up here, okay? It deals with this little block up here. So 6 times 5 times 4. And we would get 30 times 4. So our answer for this block right here to be 3 times 4 is 12. And bring up the 0. Would be 120 centimeters cubed. Okay? But now we have that little guy up and on top of that other shape. Well, let's take a look. We know that it's 3, 2, width of 3, height of 2, length of 3, height of 2, but we know that this is 5 because of the 5 there. We just have to envision that being stacked up there, like that other cube demonstration we did. So it's 3 times 5 times 2, and we get 3 times 5 times 2 would be 15 times 2 equals what? 15 times 2 is 30 centimeters cubed. But are we done yet? No, because we have to add these up. 120 plus 130 would be 150 centimeters cubed. And there's our answer. Let's go with this next one down here. And let me make sure we're in the picture here. All right. So we have 6, 2, and 2. And we can see that this is 4 meters. So we know, what will this line be right here? Well, 4 plus 2 is 6. Do we see how that continues on? So we know that that's 2. And then if we look up here, we know that this total is 4 meters, right? So this is half. So this has to be 2 meters up here. So we would have 2 by 2 right here, that 2. And then all of this is 4 meters from top to bottom. So we know that's halfway, and that would be 2. We know that's halfway because look at the 2 over here. So let's see if we could figure out the volume of this shape. I think we can. I think you can. So our first block down here, container, is 6. See the 6 inches? So 6 times 2, that's the height, times another 2 over here. See, I know it's 2 because it's 4 from here to here, and this is halfway up. So 6 times 2 times 2, we're just left with 12 times 2 equals 24 centimeters cubed. Now let's do the little block on top, okay? So we see here that this is 4, there's 6, so that has to be 2, right? So there's 2 by the 2 and then by the 2. So it's simply a matter of going 2 times 2 times 2, and 2 times 2 is 4 times 2 equals 8 centimeters cubed, and then we add them together, 24 plus 8, and our answer would be 32 centimeters cubed. And we're going to keep doing this till you get the hang of it, I hope. You've already got some hang of it. Let's continue on, and we're going to go back to just scratch paper. And let's say 2 rectangular prisms together have a volume of 135 centimeters cubed. So you have 2 rectangular prisms. I'm just going to put 2 RP for rectangular prisms equals 135 cubic centimeters. A is double the volume of B. How in the world do we figure this out? Well, let's start right now. So we have A is double the volume of B. And together, their volume equals 135. So altogether we have 3 units, right? 1, 2, 3. So what we have to do is take 135 divided by 3. We know 1 unit equals 135 divided by 3. What's 3 divided by 135? We can go over here and do a little old-time division. 3 can't go into 1. 3 can go into 13. 3 times 4. We subtract. 3 times 5 is 15. And we're left with 0 remainders. So our answer must be 15. Excuse me, 45. So 1 unit equals 45s. 45, 90, 135. So we could say A equals 90 and B centimeters cubed and B equals 45 centimeters cubed. To do other problems like this, go ahead and grab another piece of scratch paper. I know we're kind of going at a fast pace. Let's say if we knew, again, we're going to draw. I'm terrible at this. So let's say we knew the area up here was 10 centimeters squared. And we knew that this side is a question mark. But we know the total volume is 90 centimeters cubed. What would our question mark equal? Well, all we would have to do is go 90 divided by what? 10. What would 90 divided by 10 equal? It would be equal 9. So we know that the question mark would be 9 meters high. Okay, that's all we're going to do until we, well, not all we're going to do. We need to get out our problem set. So get your problem setting out. This will help you with the homework. So problem set, page 21. 21, as Lyric might say. I'm sure he would say that. So let's take a look at problem set 21. These are indeed pages 21 and 22. This will help you with homework tonight. You can catch up on the 4th graders a little more. Today's date is the 9th, 05/9/19. And let's get right to it. And let me make sure I'm in focus and all good. There we go. All right, so let's take a look at our first problem. We have 5, 5, 14, and 3. So I know this one's 3 times 14 times 5. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. Get this out of the way. The 3 times 14 times 5. I might do, let's see, 3 times 5 times 14. So that'll equal 3 times 5 is 15. And I'll do 15 times 14 over here. 5 times 4 is 20. 1 times 4 is 4 plus the 2 is 60. There's my 0. 15. 5 times 1, 1 times 1. It's 0, 11, 210. So 15 times 14 equals 210 centimeters cubed. Okay, we got that. We got this one done. The 3, the 14, and the 5. Well, this one, all I have is the 5. But I know it's just duplicate. It's stacked, right? So I know that this part has to be 3. Right? This part has to be 14. Because they're just stacked one on top of the other. Well, that makes it easy because I already know the volume of that is 210. So all I have to do is add 210 and 210. And I'm just going to put my other 210 right here. Centimeters cubed. And what's my answer? Centimeters cubed. 0, 1, 2, 420 centimeters cubed. Let's go to this next one, a little more challenging. I know the bottom block there, the bottom rectangular prism, 6 times 4 times 15. So let's do, get over here a little more. we'll do 6 times 4 times 15. Well, I know 6 times 4 is 24. Now we have to do 24 times 15. What will that equal? 4 times 5 is 20. Bring up the 2. 2 times 5 is 10, plus the 2 is 12. There's my 0. 4 times 1 is 4. 2 times 1 is 2. Add them up. 0, 6, 360. So I know this first block right here. 6 times 4 times 15 equals 360 centimeters. What? Cubed. But now the bad boy on top. I have 7 and 3. What I don't have is this, the width right here. What would it be? Well, they have to give me the answer. I know I need something there. What would it be? Well, think about the width here. Isn't it going to be the same as 4? Sure it is. There's 4. There's 4. Look. 4. We know it's 4 inches across. Whoops. Inches cubed. Pardon me. So now all I have to do is multiply 7 times 3 times 4. So let's do that. Running out of room. Let's do it up here. 7 times 3 times 4 equals what? 7 times 3 is 21 times 4. What would that equal? 1 times 4 is 4 and 2 times 4 is 8. 84 inches cubed. So now all I have to do is add the 360 and the 84. 360 inches cubed plus that 84. So this one's 360 inches cubed and this one's 84 inches cubed. And I'm just adding them up now. There's 4. 6 times plus 8 is 14. Bring 1. 444 inches cubed. So our answer here is 444 inches cubed. Let's go down to C. See you later. And my bottom rectangular prism is 10, 3, and 2. So 10 times 3 is 30, right? 30 times 2 is 60. So I already know this one is 60 centimeters cubed. What about up here? I have 6 is the height from here to here. Okay, let's get a different color out. This is 6, right? Oh, excuse me. Sorry. This is 6 right there. Okay, and that's 10. This is 4. So what I don't know is this length, but I can figure that out easily enough. It's 6, but it's going to go all the way across, so it must be 4, right? Because there's 6, that's 10. 6 plus 4 is 10, so I know I have 4 up here. So this one becomes a matter of multiplying 4, right? 4 is right here. This is 3, and then 4 up here. So it'll be 4 times 4 times 2. 4 times 4 is 16, times 2, 32 centimeters cubed. Now we just add them up. 2 plus 0 is 2. 3 plus 6 is 9, and we get 92 centimeters cubed. Our last one for the day, and this is all you're going to be doing on homework. You're not going to do the back side. We're just doing this side for homework, so please take this home to help you out with your homework. Hopefully we could get this done right here. I have 10, right? I have 3, and I have 6. An easy strategy would be 6 times 3 is 18, and 18 times 10, 180 meters. Up here, this is where I got some mystery going on. I only have 8 millimeters here. I need to know this length, this measurement, and this one, the height. I've got the width, what I need, excuse me, I've got the width, I need the height, excuse me, the length, I need the height and the width. So I know by looking down here, this is going to be 3. And looking at the height, well, this is 6. This from here to here is 12. What's half of 12? You got it, 6. So now all I have to do is 6 times 3 times 8. So let's go down here. 6 times 3 times 8. 6 times 3 is 18 times 8. And we just do the math over here. 8 times 8 is 64. Carry the 6. 1 times 8 is 8. Plus the 4 is 14. 140 centimeters cubed. So I know that this one is 144 centimeters cubed. So now I just add them up. 180 plus 144. And these are meters, excuse me. Meters cubed. 4, 12, bring up the 1, 324 meters cubed. You can do this. I have faith and confidence in all of you. You just have to work very carefully to make sure your unknown measurements are correct. So, you know what? Let's go back and check this one here. I want to make sure I did it right. See what I mean about being careful? We had 10 times 3 is 30, times 2 is 60. So this one would be 60. But let's just check up here again, okay? We have 4 right there, times 4, because that we have that measurement as 4 right there. 4 would be right there. But what about this one up here? Would it be 4? Yeah, so Mr. Lake kind of messed up on this one. It'd be 4 times 4 times 3. So it's not going to be 32. I was going so fast. 4 times 4 times 3. 4 times 3 is 16, and 16 times 3 equals what? 6 times 3 is 18. Carry the 1. 1 times 3 would be 48 centimeters cubed, so that should be 48. Changes my math around a little bit, so this should be 108 cubed. All right, I'll put this away. If you're done, you may log on to Zern Math. I know this is a tough math lesson. That's why we have some kind of fun activities planned for language arts. Thank you.